Not yet. Hello, my name is Ted Bunn. I'm the manager CEO of the American Pride Credit Union. I want to welcome everybody here tonight for the 80th annual meeting of the American Pride Credit Union. It's a special occasion tonight, so we're filming this for our YouTube channel. So if you want to see this, you can click on our website at AmericanPrideCU.org and click on the little YouTube link, and it'll take you to our AmPride CU channel, and you can see the proceedings on tape. I want to welcome everybody that's not a member who might be watching this on our YouTube site and advise you to, if you want to join the credit union, just go to our website and you can join online there. Now, to start the proceedings, I want to introduce the president of the credit union, Nick Spallone.
Hi. Again, I want to echo Ted's comments. Thank you all for joining us this evening. This is our American Pride Credit Union 2012 annual meeting. We'll also be celebrating this evening our 80th anniversary. We'll have a little more discussion around that a little later. What I wanted to do first of all was introduce my associates on the board. I have to my left the First Vice President Homer Leeper, John Patopa, and Ted Blunt. To my right, Secretary Denise Patella-Reeder, Treasurer Stan Haller, Director Stan Hallers, and Treasurer Bob Lender. I want to thank you all publicly for your support throughout the year. As I mentioned earlier, you can see by the banner, we are celebrating our 80th anniversary this year. If you, when you have a milestone of this stature, 80 years in business, for any business, it's really something to celebrate. But in the financial business, it is really something to be proud of. If you look at what is, we have people in the room here this evening that probably remember 80 years back what was going on in America and in the world, so to speak. In my president's report, the written report, I'm not going to go over it verbatim, but I noted a few things. In the society, the big buzz was a Lindbergh baby kidnapping that happened in 1932. The Yankees beat the Cubs in the World Series, so that's a sporting event that everybody can associate with. But in the financial institution, in the financial industry, it was 3 years post the 1929 Depression, the greatest catastrophe and disaster the financial industry had to date. It not only affected people throughout the United States, but worldwide. Lives were changed forever because of that single event. Here we are, 3 years later, 1932, a group of individuals at the U.S. Postal Service in Altoona, Pennsylvania, decided that they wanted to seek out an alternative to traditional banking. At that point in time, a lot of banks have failed, a lot of life savings and financial, the well-being of financial families were ruined. Ruined, as I said before, for the remainder of their lives. So we owe a lot to those early founders of the credit union. You have to just almost imagine what they were going through at that time, taking their hard earnings and entrusting it in their coworkers at that time to be able to get through the needs of their day, taking one person's money and borrowing it and lending it to another. So if we fast forward 80 years, let's think about 2009, 80 years from 1929. What happened? Again, the second worst financial catastrophe in the country. So here we are 3 years later, just as we were in 1932, digging out of, everybody reads the newspapers and knows what's happened over the last 3 years. We're still not out of the woods. Everybody has a lot of mistrust in the stock market, traditional banking. People don't know what to do with their money. Businesses aren't hiring because there's still a lot of uncertainty around where they're going to find ways to make ends meet. So throughout that 80 years, one thing has remained constant. The American Pride, the Altoona Postal Employees Credit Union, now the American Pride Credit Union, has provided stable, solid financial advice, support, and loans and a trust for their members. When When I think about, and I reviewed the loans that, for the past year, several $1 million in loans that we've made to members, these made real differences in these members' lives. When you look at real estate loans, auto loans, home improvement loans, there was $20,000+ in wedding, loans for wedding. So this is money that we are helping to provide our members with to really get them through these times. And hopefully, we're not out of the woods yet financially, but one thing that we can all rely on is the fact that the American Pride Credit Union will be there for their members. For a little background in the history, as I mentioned, it was started as the Altoona Postal Employees Credit Union. And because it was based with members, the member, to qualify as a member, you had to be an employee or family member of the Altoona Postal Employee Service. Later in the years, our charter, we were able to change our charter to allow employee groups, which expanded our membership into other businesses throughout the community. As of recently, we've expanded it again to become a community chartered credit union, which allows us to accept members who reside, work, or worship throughout Blair and Bedford County. So the name change of American Pride Credit Union more reflects the fact that we are more of an encompassing enterprise and financial institution throughout the community, and not solely based on one employee group. What I'd like to do is, at this point, call for a motion to accept the minutes from the 2011 annual meeting.
Motion.
And do we have a second?
I second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, are there any questions or any, the annual meeting of our credit union is for members to come forward. Members are welcome to any meeting, but they're, at this point in time, particularly to have any questions of the board. And also, one of the most important items of our meeting tonight is the election of officers. Before we get to that, though, I'd be glad to answer any questions or comments.
My question was already answered.
But Yankees won, yeah. Okay. All right, we did introduce the board members, and I want to personally thank them all for their support throughout the years. Ted also serves a dual role in our organization as a board member and our active CEO of our credit union. But I also want to introduce the staff members who, on a routine day-to-day basis, support our members and really make a difference in our organization. Office Manager Pam Spallone, Teller Specialist Tracy Dodson, Teller Specialist Carol Cherry, and Teller Specialist Heather McDowell.
Behind the
Pardon me, you have a question?
camera. Behind the camera.
Yeah, also serving dual duty tonight. Okay, so before we get into the election, if there's no questions, I just want to say again, thank you all for attending this evening. 80 years in business is something really to be proud of. I know I'm proud to be associated with this organization, and hopefully all of you are as well. Without further ado then we will call Denise. Do we have a, Ms. Secretary, do we have a quorum?
Mr. President, yes, we do have more than 15 members present.
Okay, then we will officially declare this meeting open, and we will introduce the candidates. This year, we have on the ballot Stan Howlers. Stan, you want to take it down? And Bob Lender. So at this point, we have 2 slots open for the Board of Directors. We have 2 candidates, but I also will call to the floor for any additional nominees. Is there anybody that would like to participate or be a candidate or nominate another candidate? No? Okay, I will call again, the second time. Are there any nominees from the floor? Third time, any nominees? Hearing none, we will declare that Stan Howlers and Bob Lender have successfully We'll be serving another year,
Yeah.
3 years.
Congratulations.
Congratulations. 3 years.
3 years.
3 years, okay? And again, they both have served on the board for quite a few years. I really don't, I don't know the exact numbers. but
31.
31 years? Very good.
Not on the board, but with the finance committee.
And the committees and the board.
And then the board.
Volunteer. Bob, you've been around quite a while also.
Yeah, I'm not sure how many years,
Seems like forever.
I know it's forever.
At this point, are there any comments from the board members or anybody else that has anything to add to the meeting? I'd be glad to recognize them or. if not-
Yeah, just
Owen?
say, welcome back, guys.
Yes. All right, and just a note of business, reorganization meeting for the regular board of directors meeting will be on June 19th at 5:30 PM. And we also will hold a reorganization meeting at the same time. If there's no other business for the board, we will entertain a motion to adjourn.
I make the motion.
Do we have a second?
Second.
Okay, all in favor?
Got it.
Okay, thank you all.